larger than life. He'll give you strife. He's Todd. He's tall, he's mean. He's labeling machine. He's Todd. Rides a motorbike. He'll tell you what it's like. He's Todd. Don't know what he'll say. He'll scare the kids away. He's Todd. He's Todd.
Oh, good morning. So, the reason why I'm laughing, we do a pre-show, right, at 9:30 my time. And I got the other two guys in the background right now, and I'll get to those guys in a minute. But one of the guys was basically saying that, and I'll let you guess who I'm talking about. One of the guys was saying that, because we're traveling a little bit now, but I have to put the tray down on the airplane to rest my belly on. So I in turn told him that he had basically do the same thing to rest all his chins on. So you'll recognize who I was talking about in a minute. So happy Thursday. Thank you for showing up. This is a post-Bixie show. And Bixie was fun. I think we sold some stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of what I'm here to do. But I made some, or I met some more folks that want to be on the show, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. In fact, you know what? I know Kate has got some things lined up here. I don't know how far she's got in the future, but on 3/31, I got my friend Sam from Eaton. He's coming on. 4/14, our new partnership with Net Ally, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then on 5/12, UCL Swift. So Kate will be doing all the magic, and we'll be posting that pretty soon. And but anyway, next week we're doing a post Bixie show. It's going to be a great show. If you didn't catch my live show at Bixie, you missed a couple of things. First of all, you got to see the lovely Kate. And I don't know why, but the audio cut out in the background. But Kate's always there lurking in the background. And she was in the back at Bixie during the live show. And I had some great interviews. But I brought her on camera. And I'm shocked that she actually came on board. But if you hadn't seen that episode, last week it was, I think, live at Bixie. It was a great show. So we're going to do a recap next week. And I'm going to have Blake Ermos on. I'm going to have Chuck on. And David Richards. And David Richards is associated with CPI, but he also runs the Cabling Skills Challenge, and he's a big whoop-de-doo in Bixie. So we've got some really good shows coming up. But today we're continuing the collaborative effort with our partners out there. And we've had a lot of partners on board. You can see behind me, here's some of our partners right here of some of our new collaborations. And so even though my next guest is one of our distribution partners, he also supports everything that we're going to be talking about out here. And so I'm also going to have Mr. Jamie Brook over, the Chin Man, on board as well. And Jamie had been previously banned from the show, but because he set this up, we let him back on. So anyway, we got Mr. Dan Krych, and Dan Krych, like myself, has been in the industry a very, very long time. And what we're going to talk about is collaborations and how to make life easier out in the field. I myself, believe it or not, used to install cable, terminate the stuff, test the stuff. I used to work for a living. I found an easier way, work smart, not hard. And so, but anything that could have helped my endeavors back then would have been greatly appreciated. And so one of the things we're going to talk about today, and not get too deep into the technicalities of things, is really how to make life easier out in the field. And then Jamie's going to talk to Dan about kind of our collaboration that we have with Cable and Connections and how all that works together. So anyway, Kate, without further ado, let's bring Dan on board here. And Dan, how are you?
Hi, how you doing, Todd?
Lovely, thank you for asking. So a nice shirt, by the way.
Thanks.
Okay, and I'm sure you're going to hear more of that crap from Jamie when we bring him on board.
Yeah.
So, Dan, you've been in the industry like myself for a very long time. Am I correct?
Yeah, I was a rep for almost 25 years, and I was uh, selling exclusively Fluke product, fiber testers, network testers, cable testers, and covering New York, New Jersey, and Philly primarily.
All right. Well, you know what? And there's a little bit of synergy there because I myself was a rep at one time out of Texas with a company called PSA. Kerry Williams. I'm sure you know Kerry Williams. And I became the number one Fluke guy in a matter of time. And the reason being, I think that I kind of went like this instead of my normal, status right now, is I used Fluke out in the field, and so I really knew how to use them. Right from the get go, and that was with their old DSP 2000s or 4000s or
Yep.
whatever those things are, and then they
Yep.
went on to other things, and that's part of what we're going to talk about today is those collaborations. Um, the old days of doing certification, I would either use a pair tester, and sometimes that was applicable, right?
Right.
Oh, and the mod taps came out. Remember those? All right.
Yep.
And so then. Yeah, Fluke really emerged on the scene, and it was a faster, easier way of testing them. But not to go into that particular brand, but I can specifically remember having walkie talkies, and you got somebody underneath the cubicle, and I'm in the closet, or vice versa, and they're calling in to see what port you're in. You're typing in that port, right? And you hit print. And if you've got thousands of drops, I mean that's a lot of time, right?
Yes.
And hopefully it was labeled before you certified that. But a lot of cases, sometimes they did it backwards. I still don't understand that. But everything has evolved. Everything. We still don't have cassette players in our cars. Although I think Bruce Page in his 1979 Datsun B210, he still drives around, still has a cassette player. But everything has evolved and everything's got better. And so one of the things that happened years and years ago is that we came up with a collaboration with Fluke, and that really started the whole thing. And the whole idea was to use an app that you can take something out of their cloud-based service that is going to go inside their test units, their head unit, but yet load that into our PTE 550, which is right there. All right. So it's kind of a one and done thing. And I love this one and done thing. And so I discovered a little loophole in the app. And what that did is it allowed me to form other partnerships here. And it's basically what you have in front of you.
Yes.
And again, it makes life easier. Number one, right? You don't have to stand there. You don't have to do this stuff. Number two is that less mistakes. And so the less time you can spend with this, the better the job is going to be, the more profitable the job is going to be. And so you've had a lot of experience, Dan, with everything that you've got in front of you,
Yes.
right? And you offer everything that you've got in front of you for sale.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the recent part, so it started with AEM, right? After Fluke, started with AEM, Lisa with AEM, and man, that worked like a champ. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they've been on the show. And then from there, we went to Trend, I believe, or Softing, either one of those guys. And Mike Grindle's been on board. Wendy, of course, who's retiring, has been on board. And Wendy, if you're out there, thank you for the interview at Bixie last week. Then Tom Jallo from Softing. I love Tom, man. I mean, we're both just intellectual people. Tom is at least. And so you're kind of in a unique situation as we are. So Brother works with everything that I've got behind me and everything on your desk, and you offer everything that you are displaying, right? And I can sit here and I can talk labeling, schmabeling, stickers, schmickers, and stuff like that. I'd like to hear from you, not only from maybe a perspective as a former rep, but now with cable and connections, the ability to really offer all of your contractors and end users a better way of doing things. So, I'm going to turn the floor over to you for a little bit. Talk about the integration and what you see as far as using one database and being able to load two. But take a few minutes and give me your perspective on that, if you don't mind.
No, so it's been enlightening after coming here and working at this company for the last year and a half, 2 years. Now, besides, I always just was yellow. I was selling yellow tools. Now I get to sell everything. And when I talk to a customer about a Net Ally tool, network analysis that, I can also talk, we're testing the cabling, but is it labeled, right? So we can I go through my whole spiel on how this is going to help them, but then, it'll help them in the future if they label the cables that they're testing, right? So it's whether it's a end user or it's a contractor, integrator, and even on cell phone towers now, I'll get to call on guys, and one of these products will fit their needs, and the brother works with all of these now, right? So it was just Fluke for me, but now each one of them can interface with the brother printer and label these cables that they're testing, and so that they have no issues down the road.
Well, the whole idea again is to make life a lot easier. And again, I go back to the sticker book days and the Sharpies and whatever. And again, things are a lot easier. And so I think the collaborative efforts are huge out there these days. And I don't care whether it's with Brother and any of the certification units or, anything, any partnership, collaboration that can make life a lot easier and get you in and, one and done, I think is a great selling point. And, now it's kind of an open forum with everything they got here. And I know you, Dan, are a big fan of Low Voltage Nation. Hey, Blake, thanks. I don't know if you can see it. Dan is the man. He trained us on the Net Ally unit. So anyway, Dan's, there it is right there. Thanks, Kate. So anyway, apparently you're the man. So you're a big fan of Brother, and specifically the Brother PTE 550. Am I correct?
Yeah, this is all. I sell the whole breadth of product, but I sell this one the most because I like the all the feature-rich product that it is and how it interfaces. I want the wireless to interface with these tools. So yes, I try to focus on this.
All right. So one of the other things, and Dan, I was showing you this ahead of time, Kate, and I'm going to share my screen now, is that there was one particular app, and I'll go back to that app right here to show you guys once I share my screen, because I don't want to go through the whole thing. I'm afraid what's going to pop up is Kate. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and we'll see how this works. All right, let's share. So right now, the way it works, all right, and hopefully everyone can see that in just a second. So right now, the way it works is the app to use, okay, for any of the testing units, right, is essentially the iLincoln label right here. And so what the iLincoln label does is it allows you to either go up into the cloud. If that certification unit has cloud capability, it allows you to go up in the cloud. Or you can email that database. And once you email that database and you want to send the database to the printer, all you do is basically tap on that and you can see everything I've got right there. All right. And now all I do is I select, I don't know, we can pick that one right there. And there's everything you need. Right there's all your labels right there. All right. So again, that makes it nice and easy. But the other thing I wanted to show everybody, and we had kind of a soft launch, if you will, at Bixie, is that we've got a new app out. The old app that I was touting for years looked like this. That was the old app. All right. It was the mobile cable label tool. Say that quickly. And so what we're doing is at some point we are going to basically take this offline, and we're going to this app right here. Hopefully nothing pops up. Hopefully nothing. Boom. All right, right there. So this is going to replace the cable label tool. And there's a couple cool things about this. Number one is that you can use a database that you send to your phone and basically print to the printers. All right. So it'll work. The same database that you're using inside your certification units, you can just now connect to a printer and hit print, whether it be a self-lam, a cable wrap, a cable flag. There's all sorts of safety signage on here. These things are all built in. There's all sorts of templates. So it's a cool little app. The other thing that this has is the ability to serialize. All right. Now, the one thing that we did not have earlier let me get back to this. The one thing we didn't have is the ability to serialize on the other app, which means that you can build your job now on the phone. You can serialize and then hit print. The beauty of this app is this. Right now, the iLink and label only works, with these units, with the PTE 550W. This particular unit right here is going to work with any Wi-Fi enabled printer, which means now you can use the PTE 550, or excuse me, the PTE 800. I guess I need to learn what the hell I'm selling, right? So you can use the PTE 800 and the 550W, all right, or any brother printer that basically has Wi-Fi. So it's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to stop sharing. It's the Brother Pro label tool. If you need some more information, reach out to myself or Dan, and we can give you some information. All right. So Dan, you're back, and one of the things I want to do is now it's 10:15. I'm gonna bring on Mr. Jamie Brook over. So Kate, can you turn the switch on, Jamie? Hi, Jamie. There he is.
How you doing? I was on earlier just so you know I could hear what you were saying. So
it was nothing but good things. Nothing
you
but
know,
good.
hey, I appreciate you having me on. So, and Dan, I really appreciate you being here too. So, one of the things, our partnership that we have with Cable and Connections, Dan, what I'd really like you to talk about is, where is Cable and Connections? What do you all cover? What's your territory? And what is your role exactly with Cable and Connections? So, if you could give the little, Reader's Digest 2-minute versions about Cable and Connections because you're so unique, I'd really appreciate that.
All right. So we have 4 brick and mortar locations. One in Northvale, New Jersey. We're in Cleveland, Ohio. We're in North and South Carolina. And we have guys in Florida and Austin, Texas. And so what makes us a little different from your normal distributor is that we understand how the tools work. I will train people on how to use these tools, and if they have problems, and help them through it. And that's how we work at all these different branches. We're value add, let's say, on that. So, Cable and Connections around for 25 years. We contractor, end user. We do audio, video security. And, again, we just don't sell the tool, but we support the people who buy these tools. So, and, we do aggressive pricing, of course, but it's the support and knowledge that makes us different from everyone else.
Yeah. Well, and I think one of the things that I think you bring to the table, Dan, is a little different is you are a technical resource for all the branches, and you can get on a Zoom call or a Teams or whatever it is, and you can show the product and demo the product. And you all have demo units, even y'all pulled out of your own inventory to have demo units to give to the customers and everything. And I think that's one of the things that stands out with you guys. You're not just, hey, flip it, it's in our warehouse, send it out the door. You're actually hands-on with all the customers.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I was in a solar field yesterday and helping a customer test fiber in a solar field in New Jersey, and telling him he should be labeling his fiber because it was not labeled. But yes, we definitely do that in the different parts that we cover.
Well, yeah, that's good to hear. That's the main thing I wanted to make sure people understood was, lots of times a distributor will get us involved where you can actually step in and help yourself, which is a very unique thing for a lot of distributors. The distributors have them, but your technical background is a lot different and more detailed on showing how everything works. So,
yes.
Well, and that's one of the main reasons, Jamie, where I thought this was kind of an interesting effort on the show today is that, Brother is out there and many distribution partners, but I think what really stuck out with Dan and Cable Connections is that value add service of service after the sale. And that's one of the things, Jamie, that has made Brother, at least our division, very successful, is helping our customers from start to finish. And it was refreshing knowing that, there are other partners such as Cable and Connections who will help with that process. And again, any value add that we can add as a Brother team in association with a distribution or what we call reseller partners, is huge to the customer. Now, what that means is return business. So if my competition is not returning calls, Dan, if your competition isn't returning calls, they're going to find somebody else. They're going to go with another brand of labeling. They're going to go with another distributor. But, these days, Grandpa always taught me a couple of things. One thing came to
I'm
mind.
nervous about this.
No. One thing came to mind. Anyway, um, service before, during, and after the sale. Right? It's an old adage, right? And he was spot on. And then if it works, don't fix it. Right? It's true. If it works, don't fix it. Why would you want to fix it if it works? So if it works with brother, there's no need to fix it. If it works with you guys and we have a collaborative effort, don't fix it. All right. And I'm not going to repeat the third thing that popped into my head. But anyway, Grandpa was a a very wise man. And Blake, Blake, I'm thinking of Blake as he's popping up my screen. By the way, Blake's going to be on next week. So, yeah, Dan, I've seen you and Steve Cowles and Lisa on other shows, and I actually watched a couple of them. And again, it's not only a brother thing, right? You show where it's a great partnership with other vendors out there, and that is very refreshing to me, to Jamie, to the rest of the team, to Bruce. I know you work with Bruce. I apologize ahead of time for that. I know you work with Bruce, and but it is what it is. And so we all appreciate your efforts out there. Number one, supporting the brother product, right? Number two is supporting the collaborative efforts that we're making, and we have new ones every day. I mean, NetAlly was I just happened to be. It's funny, so I happened to be passing by their booth, and who was it I talked to? Was it David? Dan? Dan. I'm not sure. It was
Kimpley, I
Dan.
think.
Yeah, Dan. So I just happened to walk by and I go, "Hey, you don't know me, but can you guys, basically load a CSV or sheet into that unit?" And then he goes, "Yeah." That started the whole thing. Within half an hour, we had a collaboration going. So again, it brings a value add to whether it be AEM or softing or trend, and the coolest thing about Bixie was that everyone got along. I mean, they even took a group photo, which is very cool. They're all competitors, whether it be NetAlly or AEM or Softing or Trend or whatever. But they all understand the value that this collaborative effort brings to the table. So I'm very excited about even expanding this into other certifiers as well. And Sunbird. Sunbird's another. It's a DSIM software platform that we're now partnering with. So really, the possibilities are, I wouldn't say endless, but there's a lot more to do out there. And Dan, I think I'm going to enlist your help in trying to recruit some of those other companies that you mentioned the other day, and you and I will work on that. So Jamie, while you're out there, anything else for Mr. Dan? We got a few more minutes, but
I think Dan's got something. If you would shut up for 3 seconds and let him talk, but I'm just saying.
I'm,
I just want to say it's a quality product. I mean, I've sold a lot of these, and everyone is happy with the product. And I have to say, Jamie's support has been fantastic. I know you beat him up a lot, but he helps a lot for us. And Rob Dawkins, right? Is that the other gentleman?
Yeah, I love Rob. Rob's good. Yeah, you're
Rob's good, and it's a great product. All the stuff I get to sell. I definitely believe in it, and it works. If it didn't work, I wouldn't want to be selling it. So it is a great product you guys made.
So Dan, I'm going to put you on the spot. If you were to have to tell somebody what is the one reason you should use that Brother PT 550W, what's the reason?
Ease of use, and durability. It's going to work when you need it. It's not going to fail you, and it's a good price. So
that's more than one word, and I was just cringing when Jamie asked that question. What's the one reason? I thought maybe you guys had something teed up, and you were going to say the one reason is because of Jamie Brookover. So, Dan, I like you even more now than a lot more than I like Jamie. So anyway. Thank you very much. Jamie, anything on the closing end of your side?
HR called Todd. Hold on a second. I got to call you, and I got to call with HR in a little bit. We'll talk in about 15 minutes with them.
They're actually. I blocked every call. They're using a spam dialing system now to call me. I just block them all. They're using robocall now.
HR
So
is trying to
anyway,
contact you about your extended warranty and your health insurance.
hey, Phil, if you're out there, all right, anybody out there, listen, it's no big deal. So call me anytime. So, hey, listen, Dan, I appreciate you coming in. Dan's out in New York, folks, so he's on a. It's already almost dinner time out there. But and then Jamie, Virginia Beach, and I really appreciate you, folks. We're going to have Dan's contact information at the end of the segment, along with some upcoming segments, and even Jamie's contact info. So if you need some bad advice, we're going to throw Jamie's phone number out there, as long as with his email. So anyway, gents. And I say that loosely for you, Jamie, but Dan specifically, I appreciate you putting up with myself and Jamie over the past week for the pre-shows and so forth and whatnot. And, happy selling. If you have any questions, reach out to Dan, Jamie, myself. Dan, if you need my assistance for anything whatsoever, please reach out. Thank you very much, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jamie. I'm thanking you, Jamie. Are you noting this? It's actually, it's a heartfelt thank you.
Todd.
So anyway, all right. So again, thanks, Kate. Let's go ahead and let's discuss some upcoming shows. Well, Jamie can stick around if he wants. I mean, there he is.
Oh.
Hi, Jamie. So if you can, Kate, let's throw some stuff up there. All right. So the Bixie recap. Unfortunately, Jamie wasn't able to go to Bixie. But we're going to have a Bixie recap. And again, if you did not catch that live show from Bixie, it's a good one. And that's on www.bswithtodd.com. All right. Or it's also on Instagram, which is either hashtag BS with Todd or at BS with Todd, something like that. We're on Instagram too. And the YouTube channel. Please don't forget I'm not going to grovel for, people to sign up for it, but it's out there. It'll keep you informed of what's going on with Brother and industry news as well. So the Bixie recap is going to be good. And we're going to have Blake Ramos on there. We're going to have Mr. Chuck Bowser on there, which both showed up, said hi. And David Richards. David's, that was a good show with David Richards. If you didn't catch it, he's going to talk a little bit from a vendor standpoint, because he's with CPI. And then he's going to talk a little bit about Bixie overall. And then my favorite subject out there is, not my favorite, but anyway, the Cabling Skills Challenge, which Brother was heavily involved in. March 3rd, Ask Todd Anything. Oh, my God. You know what?
Wait a minute. I get to co-host that one to ask you the question. So if you have my information, send me the real question direct to me so Todd doesn't know what's coming. Don't send it through the LinkedIn and all the fancy ways where he knows what's coming. So anybody who wants to know the real story, send the information directly to me, and we'll put them on the spot that day.
We got
and Bruce, we promise not to fire you on this one. Also, Ask Todd Anything.
That was a fun show we did last time. So on March 3rd, we're going to do an Ask Todd Anything. And then on March 31st, I'm going to have my friend Sam, not my older brother Sam, but my friend Sam. Eaton is huge, and I don't even understand. Eaton is just they're all over the place. But Sam is going to talk low voltage and what they have to offer on the low voltage level. So, stay tuned on the Instagram and the Facebook and all the other crap we're on out there for upcoming shows. Let's see what contact information. There's that handsome gentleman right there. So, Mr. Dan. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, reach out to Dan. He's a great guy with a vast technical knowledge.
Hey, Todd, we need to work on our images. Look how professional he looks. Our images look nothing like that.
What are you talking about? I mean,
our pictures look nothing like that. We got to work on that.
You know what? It doesn't matter how you look, Jamie. It really doesn't. Like I was telling you before, and it doesn't matter what you say. It's how you say it. It's delivery. All right. So. And that's why I get away with dumb stuff like this. And folks, the reason why I'm wearing the Pierre cap today is I'm having a bad hair day. All right. So anyway, that's why I got this on. So anyway, Mr. Dan Krych with Cable and Connections. As far as how to contact the team. Let's go back. What was that QR code there? Take a picture of that, folks. Will you please? Take a picture. I'd love you to take a picture. I think we're up to like 2 people now. So we doubled in the past 2 weeks.
I'm subscribing right now to make it 3.
I know. Well, actually, Jamie, I think you're one of the 2 already. So maybe, just keep subscribing to it under different pseudonyms. Put your kids
I
up
got
there.
different emails.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, take a picture and subscribe with the YouTube, whatever it is. So I guess I am groveling now, right? So anyway, let's move on to the contact information. Jamie, I got to have you back on here. You know what? I miss you, man. I really do.
Hey, anytime.
It's always fun.
All
So
right.
I'm out here in lovely Vista, California. 82 degrees today out here. Can you believe that crap? But that's why I pay $8 a gallon for gas, right? So please buy more printers so I can buy more gas.
Get an electric car. Jeez.
Anyway, so contact me. I cover, well, there's really you know what? I cover everything, right? I'm even up in Canada right now. So Mr. Jamie Brookover is out in Virginia Beach. There's his information. Mr. Dan Cobb is in the frozen tundra of Wisconsin out there. Mr. Bruce Page is Marblemouth, Minnesota. And then Rob Dawkins.
Massachusetts. It was in Massachusetts, not Minnesota. He's in the northeast.
Okay, he's out there somewhere where it's cold. It's cold out there. All right. So Rob Dawkins out of North Carolina. Rob's a good dude, man. Rob's a great. It was good seeing you again. I've worked with Rob for 20 years, something like that. It's good to see. He hasn't changed a bit. So it's good to see him at Bixie. Mr. Craig Robinson. He's probably not watching today. But Mr. Craig Robinson out of the Bradenton, Sarasota area. So that's all I got. It is 10:30. It's go time. It's nap time for me. Jamie, it's like I said, it's after 10, 11,
It's 1:30 here. I'm going to go take a 2-hour lunch, maybe, run some errands, and I'll be back around 4:30 or so if y'all need me.
Typical work day.
If you need anything, contact Dan Krych with Cable and Connections. He works the whole day.
We're Bruce. Anyway, hey, folks, this has been a fun show. I don't care who you are. It's fun, and we accomplished a couple things by talking business, which is great. But it's always good to just sit down and have a good laugh, specifically during these nasty times out there. And it's always good to have a good time and laugh. So, Jamie, I want to thank you. Kate, as always, I want to thank you again, folks. If you want to know what Kate looks like, go to www.bswithtodd.com or on my YouTube channel. And towards the end of the interviews, Kate comes in, but the damn audio goes out. I think she did that on purpose. I really did.
Let's start a Twitter handle that says #Kate on the show until she actually shows up and make her a 30-minute episode with you.
That would be a fun episode. Folks, stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got a lot of good stuff coming. We really do. This has been a blast for, I don't even know what we're on now, Kate, 52, 53, 54 episodes. By the way, 2.5 years now. 2.5 years in water. All right. And that is not BS. So, again, if you got any questions on labeling or any bad advice, reach out to any of the team members or Dan Krych. Thank you very much. Have a very blessed and safe week. And I look forward to seeing everybody on the next episode. See you, Jamie.